You thought it was just subliminals, little jabs, industry competition? Wrong. The tension between Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne isn't just surface-level shade. It's a decade-long Cold War built on betrayal, silenced deals, blocked verses, and one move that nearly ended Kendrick's career before it began. And now, it's all coming to light. This isn't just some harmless hip-hop rivalry. We're talking about ghosted DMs, sabotaged collabs, a Grammy night betrayal, and a shocking insider confession that ties it all together. One that names names, exposes industry cover-ups, and reveals that Kendrick and Wayne were never cool, not even close. Why did Kendrick refuse to speak on Wayne in early interviews? Why did Wayne publicly praise J. Cole but never acknowledge Kendrick's rise until years later? And what did Birdman allegedly tell Kendrick behind closed doors that made him walk out of a deal that could have changed everything? This story runs deep, deeper than beef, deeper than ego. And if the leaks are true, one of them may have tried to destroy the other's legacy. So strap in, because once you hear the full truth, you'll never look at either of them the same again. To understand how we got here, you have to rewind the clock to a time when Kendrick Lamar was not the Pulitzer Prize-winning king of conscious rap. He was K-Dot, a hungry, sharp-tongued rapper from Compton chasing a dream that seemed out of reach, and at the top of that unreachable mountain, Lil Wayne. This was the late 2000s. Wayne was everywhere. The mixtape circuit, the radio, the charts, and everybody's guest feature. From Lollipop to A Milli, Wayne was rap dominance in human form. Kendrick, he was just another name in LA, grinding through underground circuits looking for a shot. But here's where the first crack formed, the unspoken slight that planted the seed of resentment. In 2009, after releasing the C4 mixtape, a tribute project where Kendrick reimagined beats from Lil Wayne's Thaw Carter 3, insiders say Kendrick reached out directly to Young Money to request an official co-sign. Not a collab, not a deal. Just a nod, a repost, a shout-out. He was ignored, not rejected, not denied, silenced. But it didn't stop there. Allegedly, Top Dog himself, Kendrick's label head, tried to open conversations with Cash Money Records to broker a potential distribution deal for Kendrick's upcoming material. The talks? Dead on arrival. And according to one anonymous former Cash Money employee, the message from inside the label was blunt. He's too lyrical. That ain't gonna sell. That quote? It haunted Kendrick for years, but it gets worse. In 2010, Drake was handpicked by Lil Wayne to be the crown jewel of Young Money. The next up, the anointed one. He got the verses, he got the budget, he got the attention. All while Kendrick, still unsigned to a major, was dropping Section. A project full of soul, fire, and clarity. But no mainstream support. And guess who never once tweeted about Section 80? Lil Wayne. Even J. Cole showed love early. But Wayne? Total silence. Sources from Kendrick's early camp say he took that personal. One former PG Lang affiliate said, Kendrick looked up to Wayne. He studied him. But that silence, that crushed him. Not because he needed it, but because he knew what it meant. Wayne picked his lane, and Kendrick wasn't in it. So the writing was on the wall, but then came the moment that should have brought them together. 2012. Bet Cypher. Kendrick lit up the stage with a fiery verse that had the internet in meltdown mode. It was his breakout moment, his arrival. And just days later, a rumor exploded that Kendrick was in talks to join the Drake, Wayne, and Nicki Stadium tour as an opening act. It would have been the ultimate power move. Kendrick, young. Money and mainstream superstardom on one stage, but it never happened. Why? Because according to a recently leaked TDE internal memo, someone from Wayne's team allegedly pulled the plug, claiming Kendrick's energy was too unpredictable and not in line with the Young Money vibe. You read that right. Wayne's team allegedly blocked Kendrick from the tour that could have made him a household name overnight, and after that, things got icy. Wayne and Kendrick would appear on no tracks together for over a decade. No collabs, no remixes, not even a shared festival set. Meanwhile, Kendrick went supernova. Good Kid, MAAD City, to Pimp a Butterfly. Damn. And yet, even as Kendrick soared to the top of the rap food chain, Wayne never praised him. Not once. No interviews, no tweets, no quotes. Even when Kendrick won a Pulitzer Prize on a historic first for any rapper, Wayne was asked about it in an Apple Music interview. His response, "I don't really listen to nobody like that." Chilling. But here's where the story starts to burn. In 2016, Kendrick gave an interview where he was asked about his top 5 favorite rappers growing up. He named Tupac, he named Nas, he named Jay-Z, he named Eminem, but he did not name Lil Wayne, and the fan base noticed. Reddit lit up. Why would Kendrick snub Wayne? Is there beef? Was it shade? At the time, people brushed it off. But what they didn't know was this. Behind the scenes, the tension had already turned into cold, calculated moves. Because when Kendrick finally got full control of his creative direction under PG Lang, he reportedly told his team he had one rule. No features with Wayne, ever, even if the bag was right, even if it was a label suggestion, even if it was strategic. Never. And Wayne? He noticed. Insiders claim he once said in a green room at Rolling Loud, "That kid think he too smart. Let's see if that lasts." Well, it did. But what's about to come next might change everything. Because we're about to get into the major confrontation, the leaked diss, the backstage altercation, and the first major twist in this battle of legends. Let's set the scene. It's late 2018. Kendrick has just wrapped Up the Damn Tour, a sold-out global victory lap that cements him as not just a rapper, but a generational voice. Critics are calling him the Bob Dylan of hip-hop, and the cultural moment belongs to him. Meanwhile, Lil Wayne is finally released from his hellish Cash Money contract. The Carter Five drops after years of delays and lawsuits. Fans rejoice. Wayne is back, but not everyone's clapping, because according to an insider from TDE's tour staff, Kendrick was furious when he found out that his name was dropped from the original Carter V track list. Wait, Kendrick was going to be on the album? Yes. According to a former Cash Money engineer, Kendrick had recorded a verse for a politically charged track titled Lost Kings. The song was supposed to feature Kendrick, Wayne, and Nas, a once-in-a-lifetime lyrical summit. But just weeks before mastering, the track was scrapped, quietly, without explanation. The reason? Wayne didn't like how Kendrick came across. On the record, the engineer claimed. He said Kendrick sounded like he was lecturing, not rapping. He said it threw off the energy. The verse was deleted. That single move set Kendrick off. And a few months later, boom, a Kendrick verse leaks online from an unreleased track labeled Elders. It wasn't on any album. No promo, no hook, just straight bars. And buried in the second verse, "Y'all legends sound tired. I retire gods like chores. Say your name, say your throne. I'll sweep both off the floor." The fans went nuclear. Reddit exploded. Twitter lit up. Everyone pointed fingers. Is that about Wayne? Who else just came back with a throne? That bar hits like a death blow. But it gets deeper, because just 2 lines later, Kendrick spits. "Used to study mixtapes, now I study silence. Funny how my idols went from giants to tyrants." That one, cut deep. Blogs ran with it. Kendrick disses Wayne. Kendrick calls out the old guard. Even Hot 97's Ebro posted a gif of Wayne looking confused with the caption, "When the student becomes the professor." But the most telling reaction came from Wayne himself. During an Instagram Live Q&A, a fan asked Wayne if he'd heard the leaked Kendrick verse. His reply? "I don't do leaks. I do hits." Then he smirked, took a puff of his blunt, and ended the stream. But behind the scenes, things were boiling. 2 months later, at a private Grammy pre-party hosted by Spotify, both Kendrick and Wayne were scheduled to attend. The seating chart had them in opposite corners of the room. No interaction was expected, until Kendrick arrived. According to 2 witnesses, one a staff member, one a celebrity stylist, Kendrick walked in, looked around and said loud enough for people to hear, "I thought this was for artists." The room froze. Wayne, who had just stepped out for a smoke, reportedly heard about the comment within minutes. And then, the unthinkable happened. Wayne walked over. Not alone, with 3 of his people. No cameras, no security intervention, just face-to-face energy. What was said exactly? No one can fully confirm. But here's what multiple insiders claim. Wayne leaned in and said, "You think you slick, huh? You think bars mean crowns?" Kendrick replied, "I don't think. I know. I know." Tension. Silence. Then security stepped in. No punches were thrown, but the message was clear. This was war now, and then came the twist. Because a week later, a video leaked online from an anonymous burner account. Blurry, grainy, but unmistakable. It was studio footage of Kendrick and Nas, the same Nas who was allegedly on the cut track from Carter Fee, laughing, vibing, and listening back to a song. The title on the screen? Lost Kings original version. The caption? He kept the verse. They just didn't want you to hear it. Fans lost their minds. Kendrick never deleted the verse. He never let it go. He kept it, and now he was allegedly planning to release the track independently, not as a single, but as a statement. The betrayal wasn't just that Wayne cut him from the album. The betrayal was that Wayne didn't believe in Kendrick's voice. And Kendrick, he never forgot that. Even worse, the leaked video triggered another bomb, because in the background of that footage, someone else was clearly visible, sitting quietly, hoodie on, barely lit. Birdman, the man who once tried to sign Kendrick in the early days, the man who built Lil Wayne's empire. What was he doing in Kendrick's studio? Insiders went wild. Did Birdman flip sides? Was he trying to undercut Wayne by aligning with Kendrick? Was this revenge for how Wayne had fought him in court? It didn't matter. The damage was done. Now this wasn't just artist versus artist. This was family versus family, label versus label, legacy versus legacy. And the next move was Kendrick's. But what he did next, nobody expected. Because the escalation that followed would drag in Nicki, Drake, Jay-Z, Cole, and even Wayne's daughter, turning a 2-man feud into a full-blown rap civil war. After the leaked studio, footage showed Birdman in Kendrick's studio. The rap world stopped spinning. This wasn't just petty tension anymore. This was a betrayal that cut straight to the bone of Lil Wayne's legacy. Because let's be clear, Birdman and Wayne are family. They built Young Money from nothing. And now, the man who once called Wayne his son was vibing in the studio with the very rapper Wayne allegedly tried to blacklist. The betrayal was biblical. And fans exploded. Twitter, TikTok, Threads, all on fire. Within an hour of the footage surfacing, the hashtag Birdman Betrayal hit 38 million impressions. Fan-made videos titled Birdman Stabs Wayne in the Back and Kendrick X Cash Money collab started racking up millions of views, but this was just the start. Because that night, Nicki Minaj added fuel to the inferno. She posted an Instagram carousel of her and Lil Wayne laughing backstage at a festival, with the caption, "Family is thicker than the industry. Still with the real one." Fans took that as a direct shot at Kendrick, and within hours, another insider dropped a bomb. According to a high-level audio engineer at Universal, Wayne had been working on a new surprise verse aimed directly at Kendrick. The title of the track? Exodus 2. And guess what? It sampled the same beat as Pusha T's Exodus 23:1, the very track that torched Drake and Young Money a decade ago. Payback. But while the verse never leaked in full, a snippet did, and it was nuclear. Wayne's voice, raspy but sharp, drops the following bar. "I birthed these butterflies, but they turned into knives. Silent types act holy, but plot while I'm alive." The entire internet paused. Everyone knew who that was for. And the reactions. Team Wayne screamed, "He's back!" You thought he forgot? Kendrick's done. Team Kendrick clapped back. You mad because he made your dad switch teams? Wayne still thinks it's 2011. Kendrick responds in Pulitzers, not punches. But while the fans brawled in the comments, something wilder was happening behind the scenes. Because Kendrick was planning his next move, and it was strategic. According to an anonymous PG Lang affiliate who leaked voice notes on Discord, Kendrick's next rollout was going to feature a short film titled Father Figures. And guess what? It was rumored to dramatize the rise and fall of a fictional rap father-son duo, torn apart by greed, silence, and ego. Too familiar? It gets worse. The lead character in the film? A silent, poetic rapper from Compton. The antagonist? A flamboyant mogul with dreadlocks, tattoos, and a mansion full of plaques. The message? Legacies built on silence crumble the loudest. If that wasn't about Wayne and Birdman, what was it? The moment the teaser dropped, just 30 seconds of shadowy black and white visuals and haunting piano chords, the industry cracked in half. Even Jay-Z reposted it, Jay-Z, and captioned it. Truth is always louder than fame. Art wins, Wayne saw it. Fans confirmed he unfollowed Hav minutes later. Then came an emergency live stream on his private YouTube channel. Something Wayne never does. His eyes, bloodshot, his tone, ice cold. Y'all let this dude write poems about me and call it real. I lived this. He studied it. Respect that difference. Mic dropped. But then came the shocking reveal. Because while the internet was focused on Kendrick, Wayne, and Birdman, one journalist from Rolling Stone dropped a feature that turned the entire narrative sideways. The headline? Exclusive. Kendrick was offered a Young Money deal in 2008 and refused. What? According to unearthed emails from the Carter administration, Wayne's tour management back then, Kendrick was offered a silent artist development deal through a Young Money sublabel, and he ghosted it. That's right, before Wayne ever allegedly snubbed Kendrick. Kendrick turned down Wayne, and that changed everything. The leaked email showed the offer: small advance, creative control, potential features with Drake and Gutta Gutta. Kendrick's response? Respectfully, I know my story's different. I can't sign it, but I appreciate the vision. The industry flipped. So what if Kendrick's bitterness didn't start with rejection? What if it started with self-preservation, and Wayne took it personal? Suddenly, Wayne didn't look like a villain. He looked like a man who had been ghosted by greatness. And Kendrick? He looked like a rebel who walked away from the machine, only to become the machine. The internet went full detective mode. Fans debated timelines, leaked voicemails, insiders panicked. TikTok creators started threads titled, "Did Kendrick doom this relationship from the start?" And right when things were boiling, Wayne's daughter, Reginae Carter, went live. In tears. Y'all don't understand how much my dad did for these dudes. He was the bridge. The reason half of them got noticed. And now they act like he's a joke? I'm tired of it. That livestream went viral. Now the beef wasn't just professional, it was personal, family, raw, real. But even after all that, Kendrick said nothing, not a word, no tweet, no post, just a blank story, with a chessboard. One piece tipped over. Caption, your move. The Kendrick versus Wayne tension had always lived in shadows, quiet snubs, missed collabs, coded bars. But once that studio footage leaked and Kendrick's Father Figures teaser dropped, the internet morphed into a war zone. There was no more silence. You were either Team Kendrick, preaching lyrical supremacy and artistic depth, or you were Team Wayne, defending a legacy that birthed a generation of rap gods. And fans weren't just tweeting anymore, they were rioting online. Spotify playlists titled Goats Only suddenly removed Kendrick, fan-run Young Money. Stan accounts were behind it. In retaliation, PG Lang fans created viral playlists like Not Raised by Mixtapes, We Read Books Too, pushing Kendrick, J. Cole, and Nas to the top of algorithmic charts. Meanwhile, Stan culture mutated. TikTok, became a war ground for bar breakdowns, dissecting every Wayne double entendre versus Kendrick's coded disses. One TikToker got 3.2 million views on a video titled, "Why Kendrick Saying I Study Silence Just Ended Lil Wayne's Entire Era," but the wildest twist came from an unexpected camp, Drake's fanbase. Yup, OVO Twitter started posting, "Wayne slander. Low-key Kendrick carried the torch better than Wayne ever did. Wayne gave us Drake. Kendrick gave us Pulitzer. You do the math. And the reason? Drake's silence. He hadn't posted once. Not a tweet, not a comment, not a leak, just silence. And in the middle of all this chaos, BT announced their upcoming hip-hop honors lineup. Guess who was named as Lifetime Achievement honoree? Lil Wayne. And guess who was set to perform the tribute? J. Cole. At first, fans were stunned. Was Cole picking sides? But then the announcement, came with a twist. Kendrick was also invited, but declined. And he didn't just decline. He allegedly sent a message back through his team. Legacies built off imitation don't need my affirmation. Translation: Wayne's not the GOAT. He's a gatekeeper I never needed, and now the industry started to fracture. Rick Ross went on a podcast and said, "Wayne gave us the hunger, but Kendrick, he gave us the blueprints, different levels." DJ Khaled liked a post that said, "Kendrick's silent run got the whole game pressed." But Fat Joe came in hot. "Y'all forgot who made mixtapes legendary. Who birthed the flows? It's Wayne, man. Don't rewrite history because y'all like suits and silence." And then, Lil Baby posted a now-deleted tweet. "Wayne paved it. K-Dot polished it. Both legends stopped the divide." Too late. The divide was already deep. Even journalists got petty. XXL ran a cover story. When the student becomes the standard. Kendrick Lamar's quiet takeover of Rap Complex fired back with The Last Mixtape Messiah. Why Wayne's influence will outlive the charts. And just when fans thought it couldn't get more intense, a surprise drop hit YouTube. A fan-edited mashup titled Silence vs. Syllables, Wayne vs. Kendrick, A Legacy War. It featured chopped interviews, layered bars, backstage footage, and side-by-side career comparisons. It ended with a chilling visual, Wayne's BT Award speech, Kendrick's Pulitzer acceptance, then a title card, The Old Guard versus the Architect. The million views in 48 hours, and the final frame? Just one quote. When idols become rivals. Who becomes the icon? That quote started trending. T-shirts, hoodies, TikTok audios, even Nike athletes posted training montages with that caption under Kendrick's songs. But you want to know the scariest part? We still hadn't heard from Kendrick. Still no diss track, still no interview, still no post. And that silence? It was terrifying, because that meant one thing. Something massive was coming. But before it did, one last industry twist would shatter what little piece was left. And it involved a label betrayal so dirty, fans accused the execs of playing God with the genre itself. It started with a leak, not a song, not a verse, not even a tweet, but an internal document, pulled from a hacked email chain and uploaded to a dark web forum, then screenshotted and posted anonymously to Reddit. The title? Subject, Project Phoenix, Artist Priority Strategy, FY26. From interscopeinternal.memos.net to Universal Music Directors confidential.cc. At first, it looked like corporate noise, but then someone zoomed in on the attachment. A color-coded artist priority spreadsheet, and next to each name, notes, projections, and one chilling column labeled Legacy Transfer Target. Guess who was on that list? Lil Wayne. Status: Legacy Sunsetting. Kendrick Lamar. Status: Cultural Capital. Reassignment anchor wait. What? The translation? Wayne's legacy was being phased out behind the scenes, while Kendrick was strategically positioned to become the official cultural anchor of the genre. Fans lost their minds. Was Kendrick's rise corporately orchestrated? Was Lil Wayne being intentionally benched? Even more shocking, The memo included names: Partnership Pipeline, PG Lang X Rock Nation, X Beats Visual IPs. Sunset Support, Wayne Catalog Repackaging, Docuseries License. Potential. Public Sentiment Shift, Influencer Engagement Phase Q3. Translation: the industry was allegedly planning a slow fade-out of Wayne's legacy. Documentaries, playlisting, repackaged nostalgia, all while funneling cultural currency into Kendrick's brand through strategic partnerships and sentiment shifting. Let that sink in. This beef may have never been about lyrics. It may have been about legacy control. And then, Wayne found out. Within hours of the leak, Regina Carter posted a single tweet: "Y'all use my dad and now you trying to erase him? I hope the world sees this now." 2 hours later, Wayne dropped a 4-minute freestyle on SoundCloud. No warning, no beat, just raw vocals recorded over a phone mic. Taught 'em all how to cook, now they serving me the scraps. Taught 'em all how to read, now they black out my maps. Made $1 million off my voice, now they silence my name. I've been Carter since the cradle, y'all industry flame. The rap world stopped. He sounded hurt, raw, but focused. And in that moment, the world remembered something. Lil Wayne doesn't retire. He reloads, and Kendrick still said nothing. Just another blank IG story. This time, the image was a funeral flyer, black and white, angel wings, no names. Caption: legacies don't die, they reincarnate. That's when even Kendrick fans started whispering, wait, is this going too far? Is Kendrick playing chess or playing God? Has the real Kendrick been lost in the silence? But it's too late now. The line has been drawn. The machine is exposed. The beef is no longer between two men. It's art versus industry, legacy versus influence, truth versus control. And the next move could destroy everything. Because insiders are now claiming that a full Kendrick versus Wayne joint interview is being secretly negotiated behind the scenes, moderated by none other than Charlemagne the God. If that happens, we're talking nuclear. So, we leave you with this cliffhanger. Will the rap world survive if both titans step into the same room, unfiltered, unguarded, and unbothered? Because if that happens, somebody's empire will fall. So now we ask you, whose legacy are you defending? Is it Lil Wayne, the blueprint of modern rap, the mixtape messiah, the reason Drake, Nicki, and a generation of legends even exist? The one who got blacklisted, battled lawsuits, fought for ownership, and still delivered classics that shaped hip-hop's DNA? Or is it Kendrick Lamar, the silent assassin, the poet who turned trauma into Pulitzer Prizes, the mastermind, who outmaneuvered the industry and built an empire on art, message, and respect? This isn't just a beef. This is an industry trial, a cultural crossroads. And you, yes, you watching right now, are no longer a spectator. You're a witness to the shift. You're part of the decision. So drop your take in the comments. Is Kendrick's silence a sign of power or proof he's playing dirty? Did Lil Wayne truly get betrayed by the industry that he helped build? And if this Charlemagne interview happens, who walks away as the king? We want your wildest theories, your receipts, your bar breakdowns, your loyalty lines. Do you still believe in bars over branding? Do you stand with longevity over strategy? Or are we watching the end of the mixtape era and the beginning of something colder? Hit that like if you believe legacy can't be bought. Comment if your heart's racing and you've picked a side. Subscribe because what's coming next might split the culture in half.